मन्त्रीज्यूलाई देश बनाउनु भन्दा नाटक देखाउनुमा बढी रुचि छ।
काग कराउँदै गर्छ, पिना सुक्दै गर्छ।
तर भ्रष्टाचार गर्ने नेताहरूलाई होइन, मिम बनाउने युवाहरूलाई जेल हाल्नु पर्यो भनेर जेल हाल्ने कानुन बनाउनु पर्यो भनेर कसले सुझाव दियो तपाईँलाई?
बाँसुरी बजाएर हात्ती लखेडिँदैन भन्ने उखान त सुन्नु नै भएको छ होला नि।
While I was just playing with a ball, the opposition has been playing with the future of this nation.
मन्त्रीज्यू झरीमा परेको कुकुर जस्तो, you sit idle while people suffer. You hear, you see, but don't act. So tell me, Minister, will you keep polishing your chair or?
Opposition party lai hamro safalta nai pachena. That is why even as we put our sweat and tears into the development of this nation, the only thing they put is a bunch of corrupted money into their own pockets.
बाचा गरेर मात्र हुँदैन, काम पनि सही ढंगले नै गरेर देखाउनु पर्दछ।
What? Are you all shocked to see a minister playing with a ball in this parliamentary session? But what if I tell you that the opposition has been doing the same for many years?
समाजका हरेक वर्गका नागरिकका लागि समान अधिकार र अवसर सुनिश्चित गर्नुपर्दछ।
जब सेक्युरिटीहरु तपाईलाई टुटेको तारामा इच्छा मागेर कहिले पनि पाउनु हुँदैन। त्यसको लागि असल काम गर्नुपर्छ जुन तपाईहरु गर्न सक्नुहुन्न र हामीलाई पनि गर्न दिनुहुन्न। They are like the Nokia trying to fight against a smartphone. ढुङ्गामा बिउ रोपेर पनि उम्रन्छ पिपल। Even if you plant a seed on a rock, the people tree will grow.
This right here is known as a newspaper. You know the paper where facts are printed, not baseless accusations? I hope you flip through this before flipping to your ears outrage.
चेली बचाओ, चेली पढाओ, पढाओ सो चेली खेलाओ, देश बनाओ।
हाँसोको अर्थ सबै ठीक छ भन्ने मात्र छैन। Laughter doesn't mean that everything is fine. They may laugh and smile in front of us, but their inaction speaks louder than their words. And let's talk about how they love to point fingers everything we have done.
आम नागरिकलाई न्याय दिनु भनेको चैते धान खानु झै भनेको छ। मन्त्रीज्यूलाई
They act like they have been running a country's labor force like a multi-million-dollar, but their ideas of a progress is like getting 3 likes on a Facebook post.
Have you seen it? No? I'm sorry, my dear Bishan. I was searching for your shame along, but it seems that you don't have any shame at all to search for.
आँखा नचम्काउनुहोस्, हात नलम्काउनुहोस्, र आउनुहोस् मैदानमा. Let the games begin.
The opposition's favorite pastime, complaining. While we are busy making laws, they are busy making noise. While we build justice, they build conspiracies. And while we are securing rights for the people, they are securing what exactly?
Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this flower. What is it that gives this flower its beauty? Is it its vibrant color, or is it its mesmerizing fragrance? But what if I tell you it's actually none of those? What gives this flower its beauty is the unity of its petals. Just like if the flower would lose its beauty, if I were to tear off these petals, the parliament will lose its purpose unless the ruling and the opposition party put our hands together.
Honorable Minister, I request you to directly get to the points.
आज यस राष्ट्रिय सभा गृहमा हुन गइरहेको क्रिकेट मैदानमा दर्शकवृन्दलाई स्वागत छ। आफ्नो प्रश्नको प्रहारले आज बलिङ गर्नु हुँदैछ अपोजिसन पार्टीले भने आफ्नो कामको दममा ब्याट घुमाइराख्नु भएको छ रुलिङ पार्टीले। र गुगलीको रूपमा नेपालमा इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेभलपमेन्टको बारेमा प्रश्न गर्दै अपोजिसन पार्टीको पहिलो बल।
अब यस गरिमामय संसदको एक क्षण पनि खेर नफ्याली उही प्रतिबद्धताका साथ अघि बढौं।
युवा तथा खेलकुद मन्त्रालयको ब्याट्सम्यान तम तयार अवस्थामा ब्याट्सम्यानको विश्वस्तरीय पूर्वाधार विकासको कडा प्रहार र यो बल चौका।
And with the intention
Honorable
of causing
Minister, please take your seat.
पालो छ अर्को बलको। खेलकुदको क्षेत्रमा रोजगारको बारेमा प्रश्न गरिरहेको अपोजिसन पार्टीको यो बल निकै स्पिडमा विकेटतर्फ पुग्दै ब्याट्सम्यानले बललाई हान्नुभयो। बल हावामा 8000 भन्दा बढीलाई निर्माणको क्षेत्रमा जीविकोपार्जनको स्रोत बनेको र 2000 भन्दा बढीलाई इभेन्ट म्यानेजमेन्ट र परफर्मेन्समा रोजगारको They didn't just break barriers, they redrew the map. I guess
उहाँहरुको प्रस्तुति वास्तवमा नेपालको अहिलेको राजनीतिलाई चित्रण गर्ने खालको थियो। कुकुरलाई मही खाने हामी, कुकुरलाई पप्पी भन्दै मही खान्छौं, तर यही देशमा दलितको नाममा हामी विभेद गर्छौं र आफ्नो घरभित्र छिराउन र सँगै खान बस्न हामी रुचाउँदैनौँ। यो हाम्रो सामाजिक चित्र हो। यो देशमा अझै पनि रोगभन्दा पनि उपचार महँगो छ, औषधि महँगो छ। त्यही भएको कारणले पुल बनाउन सक्छ होला, भवन बनाउन सक्छ होला, तर देश कसले बनाउँछ भने पोलिटिसियनले हो, तर खराब पोलिटिसियनले होइन। अहिलेको जस्तो राजनीति नेताहरूले जस्तो होइन। सडकको कुरा सदनमा गएर पोखिने, सदनको कुरा सडकमा गएर पोखिने, अनि सडकमा टायर बाल्ने, जिन्दाबाद र मुर्दाबादको कारणले हामीले देशमा धेरै कुरा गुमाएका छौँ। अबको दिनमा त्यस्तो नहोस्। त्यो भएको कारणले
अब विपक्षी सांसदहरूलाई प्रश्न सोध्न 1 मिनेट र मन्त्रीहरूलाई आफ्ना मन्तव्य राख्न 3 मिनेट दिइनेछ। धन्यवाद। अब म विपक्षी सांसद सुप्रिम कोइरालालाई एनर्जी, वाटर रिसोर्स र इरिगेसन मन्त्रालयलाई प्रश्न सोध्न अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु।
Right Honorable Speaker, through you, I'd like to address to the Minister of Energy, Water Resource and Irrigation. As the saying goes, Uddyamen hi siddhanti karini na manorathe. Success is achieved through efforts, not just by wishing. With this in mind, I would like to draw the attention of the honorable members in this House to an important issue related to Nepal's water resource management and hydropower potential. As we all know, Nepal is considered as the second richest country in the world in terms of water resources, with immense potential of hydropower generation. Despite of this natural wealth, our current installed capacity is only 3,200 megawatts, which also decreases by 25% in dry season. Instead of finding a sustainable solution, Nepal signed an agreement to import up to 600 megawatts of electricity from India. Seeing this situation, I feel as if our country is begging with a golden bowl in hand. Right Honourable Speaker, considering this, I would like to ask the Honourable Minister that how does the Ministry plans to manage this seasonal fluctuation in hydropower generation caused by Nepal's monsoon-dependent water flow? Additionally, what strategies are being implemented to ensure that the import of electricity supports the immediate need without hindering the long-term growth and development of our nation's domestic hydropower sector? Thank you.
Right Honourable Speaker, through you I address the House today on a vital subject of Nepal's hydropower potential. I acknowledge the Honourable MP's growing concern that Nepal is yet to harness this complete potential, leading to continued electricity imports during the dry season. Here's the reality. Nepal's monsoon-driven hydropower generation leads to surplus production during the rainy seasons, forcing us to sell the excess electricity. But in dry season, when river flow decreases, we temporarily import power. If we had better storage solutions, we wouldn't need to import at all. And guess what? That's what we are doing. Pumped hydro storage systems, battery energy storage systems, and regional grid interconnection systems all are being adopted for fortifying Nepal's energy sector. Regional grid interconnection systems allow reliable cross-border power sharing with our neighboring countries during the time of surplus and deficit. There are several such projects underway with India and China that promise a more reliable electricity access to all the Nepal. Pumped hydro storage systems provide immense potential for storage of hydropower. Over 2,800 such sites has been identified, which doesn't even require to dam any rivers, minimizing high environmental and social cost. Battery Energy Storage System, BESS, is being slowly adopted for stabilization of national grid as well as the energy storage. We are also diversifying our energy mix through hybrid mini-grid systems, which combine solar and wind power. So far, 2,000 of such systems has been installed, which have produced more than 334 kilowatt of electricity for the local communities. Looking ahead, the ministry is developing a 12-year comprehensive plan aimed at producing over 30,000 megawatt of electricity, double the expected demand of that time. Despite needing improvements, the hydropower of Nepal serves as the most promising sector right now. But some are quick to jump in, waving their hands about Nepal importing electricity during the dry season. Oh, how clever. They think they have cracked the code, like they have just discovered fire. But isn't it fascinating how they conveniently forgot the other half of the story, the part where Nepal exports billions of rupees worth electricity every year. How convenient for them. Let's set the record straight. In just first 5 months of this fiscal year only, I repeat, in just the first 5 months of this fiscal year, Nepal exported 1.76 billion units of electricity to India, earning 13 billion Nepalese rupees. What? Want to know the average rates? Nepalese rupees 7.39 per unit, all sold in Indian Energy Exchange and directly to Indian states like Haryana and Bihar through bilateral agreements. Not to mention, Nepal began exporting 40 megawatt of electricity to Bangladesh via India's transmission line. Yet our self-proclaimed energy experts thinks that this doesn't exist. They see Nepal importing power in dry season and think the government is falling. But did they ever bother to ask themselves, why is this happening? Of course not. That would require analysis. They act as if energy policy is like ordering a momo. Just pick and choose what suits the narrative. But you know what we believe? Kaak karodai garcha, pina sukdai garcha. That's why we are actively working to ensure Nepal becomes a true energy powerhouse. Not just in word, but in action. While some sit comfortably in their armchairs pointing fingers, we are out in the field building Nepal's energy future. But let me be clear with you all. Constructive criticisms is welcome, but let's ensure it is backed by actionable plans, not just word. Sahakarya hi sarva siddhi. Teamwork is the key to all success. So I say, instead of engaging in baseless debates, let's focus on real solutions. Together, let's light up Nepal. One project, one innovation, and one vision at a time. Thank you, Jai Nepal.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now I request Honorable MP Niket Risal to raise the question to Ministry of Health and Population.
Today, I would like to raise a question towards the Minister of Health and Population with prior permission from the Right Honorable Speaker. Minister, it has been recently confirmed by Nepal's health authorities that the malaria elimination target has been postponed to 2030, aligning with the World Health Organization's target after efforts in order to contain the spread of the disease have proved ineffective, and it became impossible to declare Nepal as a malaria-free nation by the original deadline, which was 2026, just 1 year away from now. Now, Minister, I'm eager to know, what are the countermeasures being done by the Ministry in order to ensure that the newly reenacted 2030 target does not get another setback as well? Projects like this, which have the potential to save thousands of lives, must not be slept on and cannot continue to be postponed in this manner. Thank you.
Right Honourable Speaker, respected members of the esteemed Parliament, my fellow citizens. We gather here today with a shared responsibility, bound by a duty to the people of this great nation. We are, after all, not just lawmakers or politicians. We are the voices of those who cannot always speak for themselves. And the question that has been raised today strikes at the very heart of our duty. Why has this government decided to extend the malaria eradication campaign, and more importantly, what are the actions that the government is going to take to ensure the health and safety of every Nepal citizen? Right Honourable Speaker, let me be clear. This is not a decision we took lightly. It's a decision based in science, data, facts, and driven by a compassion for our fellow citizens. Malaria, as many of you may know, is not just an illness. It is a disease that has ravaged the rural population of our country for decades. It is a disease that strikes the vulnerable the hardest, the children, the pregnant women, and the elderly. And although we have made tremendous progress, we are not just there yet. Right Honourable Speaker, let me give you the facts first. In the last 5 years alone, we have been able to reduce the transmission rate, malaria transmission rates in Nepal by over 60%. In 200,000 cases in 2010, we now roughly stand at around 75,000 cases per year. That is progress which gives us hope. But we cannot stop at 75,000 cases only. We have a moral obligation to bring that number down to zero. We must extend the timeline because although, despite our success, we are seeing resistance. Yes, mosquitoes are becoming more and more resilient. The disease itself is adapting, and certain regions, particularly in the Terai and lower-lying areas of our country, remain hotbeds of transmission. These are the areas where our brothers and sisters live in difficult conditions, where health services are stressed in. And if we abandon them right now, we risk undoing all the activities we have done so far. Right Honourable Speaker, now what actions are we taking? First and foremost, we are scaling up our distribution of long-lasting insecticide-treated bed nets. These bed nets have proven to reduce the malaria transmission rates in affected areas by 40 to 50%. We'll ensure that by the end of the next year, every household in highly affected areas has at least one, and we will mobilize local healthcare workers to ensure families know how to use them. Secondly, we are doubling down on our indoor residual spraying efforts. In partnership with local governments, we'll prioritize high transmission areas and make sure homes are treated regularly. We'll also be increasing our investment in rapid diagnostic testing and treatment centers. By 2027, we aim to establish roughly around 500 additional centers in highly affected areas. This center ensuring that anybody who shows symptoms can get treated within 24 hours. No one should die of a disease we know how to cure. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, we are working on community-based health interventions. We cannot defeat malaria from the capital alone. It will take the collective will of our people. So we are empowering local leaders, healthcare workers, and community organizations to drive this campaign forward. Education campaigns, training programs, and community engagement are at the heart of this strategy. Now, I know this isn't easy. There are those who will say it's too costly, that timeline is too long, that we have greater things to worry about. But the truth is, we cannot put a price tag on the lives lost to malaria. As Nelson Mandela once said, health cannot be a question of income. It is a fundamental human right. And we in this parliament have a duty to uphold that right for every Nepali citizen. We must extend the malaria eradication campaign because it's not just about the number and chart. It's about human lives, about the dignity of our people, about the promise of a healthier and stronger Nepal. And if we give up now, if we let this disease regain a foothold, what does it say about us? What does it say about our commitment to those who need us the most? I believe in this country. I believe in our people's resilience. And they believe that if we stay the course, if we act not fear but out of hope, we'll surely see a day where malaria is nothing but a distant memory, a story we tell our children about how we came together and won over it. So let us continue this fight. Let us extend the time, and not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because the health and well-being of every Nepali citizen is worth fighting for, no matter where they are, no matter who they are. God bless you all. God bless Nepal. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now, before moving forward, I would like to pause the session for a moment and hand over the chair to the Honorable Deputy Speaker of the Parliament for further proceedings.
The best decisions comes from the best discussion. As we continue this session, let us remember, leadership is not about power, but it's about purpose. Let our words build, not divide. Let our actions lead, not delay. With that, let's proceed with the same determination, enthusiasm, and purpose. The session continues now. So, I would like to request Honorable MP Anushka Basnet to raise the question to the Ministry of Labour, Employment and Social Security, followed by the Ministry of Agriculture.
Right Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister of Labour, Employment and Social Security, your government has made countless promises regarding the improvement of labour conditions. There still seems to be a vast gap between promises and the reality. केवल बाचा गरेर मात्र हुँदैन, काम पनि सही ढंगले नै गरेर देखाउनु पर्दछ। समाजका हरेक वर्गका नागरिकका लागि समान अधिकार र अवसर सुनिश्चित गर्नुपर्दछ, विशेष गरी महिलाहरू र अपाङ्गतासँग गुज्रिरहेका व्यक्तिहरूका लागि। So, Honorable Minister, when will the government take real effective steps to address the issues that are being faced by the labourers? How will your government ensure that women, disabled people, and marginalized groups receive fair wages, the protection of their human rights, and an equal opportunity to thrive in the workforce? And when will this government move from promises to concrete action that ensure respect, dignity, and empowerment for all the workers? Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, esteemed members of the Parliament and fellow citizens. I stand before you today as a Minister of Labour, Employment and Social Security, and as someone who is working really hard for the workers of our country, unlike opposition who is just sitting comfortably on the sofas with the AC turned on and thinking, oh my God, how can I blame them for their mistakes, but not the present one, the past mistakes. Let me talk about the opposition. They love to throw stones, but they can't even throw a pebble without breaking their own window. They remind me of a guy who complains about everything at the party. Food, music, gifts, decorations, and everything. And he thinks about himself, oh my God, if I had got the in-charge, then I could make this so beautiful. But when the actual time to do, then they are the first one to leave the place. And they just vanish like a magician. विपक्षीहरू सडकको कुनामा उभिएका भाषण दिने र वास्तवमा कहिल्यै पनि काम नगर्ने व्यक्तिहरू जस्तै नै छन् हात्ती आयो भने त्यो झाडी होइन जुन डरलाग्दो हुन्छ We are here taking bold action. We are not afraid of the opposition hollow threats. Now let's talk about the gender equality. 2068 सालमा भएको जनगणना अनुसार नेपालमा केवल 22.5% महिलाहरू मात्र काम गर्ने गर्दथे तर 80 भर्खरको सर्वे अनुसार नेपालको 2078 सालको जनगणना अनुसार नेपालमा 59% महिलाहरू स्वरोजगार गर्ने गर्दछ The opposition still thinks that women's rights are the Sunday morning conversation, not something to actually work on. Let's talk about the migrant Nepali workers. Remember when they were treated horribly? No safety, no dignity, and no respect. Where was the opposition then? They talked a big game, but they didn't lift any finger. शब्द बिना क्रिया केवल आवाज मात्र हो. Words without action are just noise. If you have got no shame, your words have no truth. Opposition, your shame is hiding behind empty promises. And don't get me started on the future work. The opposition thinks job security comes from wishing on stars. The future is built by preparing for a job. Job security हरू तपाईलाई टुटेको तारामा इच्छा मागेर कहिले पनि पाउनु हुँदैन त्यसको लागि असल काम गर्नुपर्छ जुन तपाईहरु गर्न सक्नुहुन्न र हामीलाई पनि गर्न दिनुहुन्न They are like Nokia trying to fight against a smartphone. हाँसोको अर्थ सबै ठीक छ भन्ने मात्र छैन. Laughter doesn't mean that everything is fine. They may laugh and smile in front of us, but their inaction speaks louder than their words. And let's talk about how they love to point fingers everything we have done. What have they contributed? Nothing. They act like they have been running a country's labor force like a multi-million-dollar, but their ideas of a progress is like getting 3 likes on a Facebook post. We are here fighting for a workers' right, fair pay and safety and social security. Meanwhile, the opposition keeps whining about the past. Their complaints like an old radio broadcast, nobody really cares about it. We are planting the seeds of change, no matter how many rocks you throw at us. ढुङ्गामा बिउ रोपेर पनि उम्रन्छ पिपल. Even if you plant a seed on a rock, the people tree will grow. You keep gossiping and
due to the time limitation, please wrap up your speech.
Okay. Then until and unless I hold this position, I make sure that every people, no matter their background, their disability, or anything else, all of them will be treated equally. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Now I now invite Honorable MP Nikita Khimire to put the question to the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, followed by the Ministry of Law.
Right Honorable Speaker Madam, through you, I rise to sow the seed of a critical question to the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Nepal, often hailed as an agrarian nation where over 60% of the population tills the soil for their livelihood, finds itself in a paradoxical situation. Despite this agricultural identity, this very government spends billions of rupees annually to import agricultural products to feed its people. A bitter pill. I say a bitter pill to swallow for a country so rich in fertile land and hard-working farmers. Recently in Chitwan, farmers were forced to dump vegetables on the roads in protest after failing to find buyers. They pointed fingers, and rightly so, at the influx of cheaper Indian vegetables which have uprooted local produce from our very own market. Similarly, in Sarlahi district, farmers have stopped harvesting tomatoes altogether because prices have plummeted to as low as rupees 6 to 8 per kilogram, far below the cost of production. Many farmers have been left with no choice but to let their tomatoes rot in the fields or feed them to livestock. It appears that our farmers are being left in the weeds, caught up in challenges they cannot overcome alone. This is a crisis that demands immediate attention and decisive action. So, dear Minister, what collaborative measures is your ministry planning to implement alongside the private sectors and international donors in order to enhance the investment in the agriculture sector, particularly addressing challenges such as inadequate infrastructure, limited market access, and land plotting, while also prioritizing financial and technical support for farmers to adopt modern farming practices? Thank you.
First and foremost, I extend my gratitude to the Madam Speaker for allowing me to address this assembly. Now, for the sake of those still fumbling in the dark, let me shed some light on the facts. Facts that the opposition conveniently ignores while they waste their time on empty talk instead of real solutions. Nepal's agriculture sector is not stagnant, it is evolving. We are implementing precision agriculture, vertical farming, and climate-resilient techniques with climate-adaptive crops like stress-tolerant rice, drought-tolerant maize, and salt-resistant wheat. But I suppose expecting the opposition to acknowledge progress is like expecting a fish to climb a tree. Irrigation, done. Large-scale irrigation projects like Sikta and Rani Zamara Kularia irrigation projects as well as Bhiribhave multipurpose projects are already underway, ensuring water availability for thousands of farmers. Fertilizers, improved seeds, and modern equipment subsidized and distributed. Better roads, expanded storage, and improved transportation being developed as we right now speak. But let's get to the part with undeniable facts. Digital platforms like Krishi Kisan are cutting out middlemen exploitations, directly linking farmers with buyers while also ensuring fair pricing. Mechanization programs are reducing labor dependency, increasing efficiency, and government-backed loans with low interest rates are empowering farmers while also bringing over youths towards this sector. And yet, despite all of this, the opposition's biggest concern seems to be how loud they can shout rather than how much they can contribute. Now let's talk about global partnerships. The World Bank-funded Nepal Agriculture Transformation Project is boosting productivity while also maintaining sustainability. Similarly, our Asian Development Bank partnership is building better infrastructure and expanding irrigation. Various research institutions are developing high-yield pest resistance and climate-adaptive crops, and training centers are equipping farmers with necessary skills to adopt cutting-edge technologies. And now, a final word to the opposition. I know facts can be inconvenient for those who prefer loud accusations over actual solutions. But as the saying goes, it is better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to open one's mouth and remove all doubt. So I advise you, my dear oppositions, educate yourselves.
Honorable Minister, due to the time limitation, please wrap up your speech.
Okay. You only expose your ignorance further. If you had even an ounce of dedication towards the nation's progress, you would have already known about these initiatives, instead of pretending they don't exist. As long as I'm the minister, let me make one thing crystal clear. We do not believe in excuses, we believe in executions. Unlike the opposition, we are walking the walk, not just talking the talk. Soon, Nepal will not only reclaim its status as an agriculture powerhouse, it will thrive. And when that happens, I truly hope the opposition has the grace to admit that they were chasing shadows all along.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Please consider the time limitation. I repeat, Honorable MPs are given 1 minute to raise the question and Ministers are given 2 minutes to answer. Honorable MP Sunita Bhattrai, now it's your turn to raise the query to the Ministry of Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs, followed by the Ministry of Transportation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Nepal boasts rich cultural diversity, yet minorities, women and the LGBTQI+ community face daily discrimination. The Ministry of Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs claim to work tirelessly. But Minister, where are the results? Or is the Ministry busy delivering speeches while Operation thrives? Madam Speaker, आम नागरिकलाई न्याय दिनु भनेको चैते धान खानु झै भनेको छ। मन्त्रीज्यूलाई देश बनाउनु भन्दा नाटक देखाउनुमा बढी रुचि छ। The minister speaks of efforts, yet injustice remains the reality for countless Nepalese. But if those policies do exist, why is it that discrimination persists while a ministry watches like a timid cat? Minister, Mantrijiu, Zarima Pareko Kukur Jasto, you sit idle while people suffer. You hear, you see, but don't act. So tell me, Minister, will you keep polishing your chair or finally do your job? Thank you.
With the prior permission of Honorable Speaker, respected members, and of course the opposition, whose talent for complaining far surpasses their ability to govern, I'd like to begin with a quote from Francis Wright, a Scottish lecturer and a social reformer. The quote goes by, equality, yes, you heard me right, equality is the soul of liberty. There is, in fact, no liberty without it. Now, this is a fairly simple concept, but just in case the opposition is struggling, let me put it this way. If freedom is a tree, then equality is its root. Without equality, freedom is just a hollow illusion, much like the opposition's argument. Loud, dramatic, and utterly baseless. But let's get to the real issue. The opposition's favorite pastime, complaining. While we are busy making laws, they are busy making noise. While we build justice, they build conspiracies. And while we are securing rights for the people, they are securing what exactly? Perhaps their reputation as professional crybabies. After all, the roar of a lion commands respect. The squeaks of a mouse are just an irritation. But before we start, let me search for something. I think something is missing. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? No? I'm sorry, my dear opposition. I was searching for your shame along, but it seems that you don't have any shame at all to search for. Well, unlike the opposition, now let's move forward. Nepal is committed to achieving equality for its marginalized communities. The ministry isn't tossing around empty promises. We have implemented concrete initiatives. For instance, reformed legal aid system. We have strengthened socio-legal aid services nationwide, making legal assistance accessible to those who previously saw justice as a distant dream. This isn't just paperwork. It is ensuring that even a farmer in Humla has the same legal voice as a businessman in Kathmandu. Judicial committees at local level. We have fortified judicial committees in local bodies. Now, justice is no longer confined to the courtrooms of Kathmandu. It now reaches every village and every ward.
Honorable Minister, please wrap up your speech.
Gender equality and social inclusion strategy. With the help of GESI, we are not just filling quotas, we are building a system where diversity is strength. But expecting the opposition to understand this is like expecting a fish to climb a tree. I hope the opposition clearly knows what this is. Well, this right here is known as a newspaper. You know the paper where facts are printed, not baseless accusations? I hope you flip through this before flipping to your ears outraged. Today, we close the chapter on outdated tactics and open a new act of bold transformation. To the opposition, your dramatics are the closing scene of a long-forgotten play. We have taken up the pen of destiny, and our lines will be etched in the history of Nepal as a glorious anthem. Let the final curtain fall on your division. Our masterpiece has just begun. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now it's the turn of Honorable MP Prisma Pantha to raise the question to the Ministry of Transportation and Physical Infrastructure, followed by the Ministry of Women.
Right, Honorable Speaker, through you, I would like to raise a question to the Ministry of Infrastructure and Transportation. We are all aware of the fact that Nepal faces serious transportation challenges with traffic jam cities like Kathmandu and poor road condition in rural areas. The transport sector also contributes significantly to pollution. The government has promised improvements, but many projects often face delays due to mismanagement and corruption. What specific measures is the ministry taking to reduce traffic congestion and to expand public transport networks in both urban and rural areas? Additionally, how is the ministry tackling with the delays and the corruption that have hindered transportation projects for years?
Right, Honorable Speaker, Madam, respected colleagues and fellow citizens of my disguised nation, warm greeting to everybody. Let me begin with simple truth. Nepal's transportation project has been stuck in first gear for far too long. While some of the opposition are busy are still busy reinventing the wheel. We are building the highways to the future. As Sanskrit saying goes on, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhin. May all be happy. But let's be real. But let's be real. Happiness is hard to achieve when you are stuck in traffic for 3 hours or when your village road disappear every monsoon. So today I am here to tell you guys how we are fixing this mess and maybe roast a few individuals along the way. Let's talk about Kathmandu. If you have ever been stuck in traffic here, you know it's less of a commute and more of a taste of passion. Roads are overcrowded. Public transportation is frankly a joke. But while some of the educated, privileged opposition are still debating over making flyover design from Stone Age, we are actually rolling out Podway, an aerial transportation system that will soar above the city. And to the electric bus initiative, yes, we are finally upgrading from vehicle that cough more smoke than TikTok influencer. Take note, this is called innovation, not just recycling old idea with fresh coat of paint. Now let's talk about rural roads. For decades, they have been a horror story. Narrow, muddy, and as reliable as opposition politicians promise. While other opposition treat rural connectivity like a myth, we are building mid-hill Puspalal highway or road so sturdy, even the monsoon will respect it. And to the Humla Karnali corridor, this is not just a road, it's a digital finger to everybody who said remote area does not deserve infrastructure. Spoiler alert, they do. And Kathmandu-Tarai Expressway, yes, it's delayed, yes, it's over budget, but while some were still figuring out how to lay a foundation, we are actually building one. This expressway will cut travel time between Kathmandu and Tarai.
Honorable Minister, please wrap up your speech.
Proving that progress is possible if you stop arguing and start walking. Let's talk about pollution. Kathmandu air quality is so bad. It's like breathing through a car exhaust. While other educated opposition blame external factor for this problem, we are rolling out electric vehicles and charging stations because clean air is not a privilege, it's a right. I again repeat, clean air is not a privilege, it's a right. And to those who still drive smoke bleaching vehicle from 1980s, your car is not vintage, it's crime against humanity. Your car is not vintage, it's crime against humanity. Honorable Speaker, while some opposition were busy making PowerPoint presentation about progress, we are actually building one. From Podway to rural highways, electric vehicle to smart cities, we are creating a transportation system that works for everyone, because at the end of the day, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhin is not just a course, it's our mission. So let's stop blaming and start fixing. Let's create a Nepal where progress is not just a dream but reality. Jai Nepal.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now I would like to provide the floor to Honorable MP Samriddhi Baskota to raise the questionnaire to the Ministry of Women, Children and Senior Citizen, followed by the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Through you, I would like to ask the question to Ministry of Women, Children and Senior Citizen of Nepal. Yatra naryastu pujayante ramaniti tatra devataha. It means where women are respected and honored, there the God dwells and brings prosperity. However, in Nepal, the safety of women remains a critical issue despite various laws and policies aimed at addressing gender-based violence. Alarming cases of rape, domestic violence, human trafficking highlight the systemic failure to protect women. Public spaces and transportation remain unsafe for women, especially at night, while rural areas face even more severe challenges with limited access to legal and psychological support. The growing number of incidents calls for immediate and effective intervention. So, what decisive measures is the Ministry of Women, Children and Senior Citizens of Nepal implementing to tackle the escalating safety crisis for women and ensure accountability in addressing these issues?
Honorable Speaker, respected members of the Parliament and the people of Nepal. Let me begin with a bitter reality. Women in Nepal still do not feel safe. They walk with keys clenched between their fingers, they hesitate before speaking up, and in far too many cases, their cries for justice echo in silence. And let's be clear, this is not a woman's issue. This is a national emergency. A country cannot call itself developed, democratic, or just if half its population still lives in fear. Women's safety is not a privilege, it is a right. And when that right is violated, it is not the woman who should be ashamed. It's the system, the society, and the criminals who dare to think they can get away with it. But let me also make one thing very clear. This government refuses to stay silent because safety is not just about passing laws, it's about making sure those work where it matters. On the streets, in homes, in workplaces, in villages, and in the hearts of every woman who dare to dream of a safer tomorrow. So, what has been done? Honorable members, let's talk about action. Because speeches alone don't bring change, actions do. Fast track courts for gender-based violence, GBV cases. No more excuses, no more delays. We now have fast track courts to ensure speedy trials for cases of rape, domestic violence, and assault. Justice delayed is justice denied. So we're making sure justice is swift. Harassment-free workplaces and streets. The Sexual Harassment at Workplace Prevention Act is no longer just words on paper. It is the law of the land. Employers are now required...
Honorable Minister, due to the time limitation, please wrap up your speech.
We are not just implementing policies, we are building a movement where every Nepali stands together to say women deserve safety, respect, and equality. But this is not just a ministry's fight, it's everyone's fight. We need families, communities, and leaders at every level to stand with us. Let's be clear, women do not need your sympathy, they need your action. Women do not need permission to be safe, they have right to safety. And to every girl, every woman listening today, walk outside without fear, because this country is as much yours as anyone else's. Thank you, Honorable Speaker and respected members of the Parliament.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable MP Supreme Khanal, now you are given a minute to raise the question to the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, followed by the Ministry of Forest.
Freedom of speech is the pillar of democracy. Without it, democracy crumbles. Honorable Minister of Information and Communication Technology, recently you introduced the Social Media Bill 2081, and I must say it's like a how-to guide for creating a nation of speechless citizens. Your bill may have started with the idea of tackling cybercrime, but now it looks more like a plan to control every word we say online. We need laws against cyber crimes, तर भ्रष्टाचार गर्ने नेताहरूलाई होइन, मिम बनाउने युवाहरूलाई जेल हाल्नु पर्यो भनेर जेल हाल्ने कानुन बनाउनु पर्यो भनेर कसले सुझाव दियो तपाईलाई? 5 years in jail for online speech. Is this your upgrade to democracy where you fear speaking freely? And next, what? Do we need government approval to post status on Facebook? The Social Media Bill 2081 is in direct contradiction with the Article 17 of the Nepalese Constitution, which guarantees the freedom of speech and expression. Article 17 clearly states that every citizen has the right to express their thoughts, ideas, and opinions freely. But this bill seeks to restrict online speech in a way that violates the very principles laid in our Constitution. If that's not the fast track to a dictatorship, then I don't know what is. Here's the thing. Nepal already has laws to punish cyber crimes, but instead of improvising and effectively implementing those laws, this bill turns citizens into potential criminals for speaking their mind. Do you plan to fill up the jails of Nepal with innocent citizens who dare to have an opinion? Lastly, let's talk about corruption. If someone exposes a corrupt leader online, will they face charges for spreading false information? Minister, is this bill really about protecting the people, or is it just a convenient tool for the government to hide their wrongdoings and cross freedom of speech?
Right, Honorable Speaker. Through you, I stand in this esteemed parliament with the intention of making our efforts toward the ICT sector worthwhile. The concerns raised by the opposition are admirable, yet useless. And when you relate this topic to topics such as, corruption, dictatorship, I think it's preposterous. I feel that you have not understood our goals in the slightest. Now, let me be clear. This bill is not an attempt to stifle freedom of speech in any way, but a necessary step to protect our national security, public order, and the well-being of all of our citizens in this era of national digital transformation. So you ask what defines against national interest. Well, I think common sense can answer that one for you. You ask, well, we are a democracy, and in no way whatsoever are we attempting to silence the voices of our beloved citizens. Rather, we are slamming doors in the faces of unhealthy cyber thieves who spread lies about the Nepali government. This bill does not aim for omitting citizens to speak their mind, but for preventing criminals from spreading harm around the internet. Now, the fact that you try to relate this to dictatorship is just preposterous. Our government has been on a long and tedious, determined path to reach full democracy for decades. And once we finally reach it, you call it dictatorship? The fact that this is being treated as a bill voted on by the members of our government is enough to deny any type of dictatorship of any kind. We are not limiting the freedom of our citizens in any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, we are protecting them. So now, let's look into
Minister, due to the limited time, please wrap up your say.
Now, let's see. Nepal does have laws against cybercrime, but when our cyber situation worsens, what do you expect us to do? Just sit around like cow tournaments? No, we'll implement more and more policies until we reach our final goal, building a digitally resilient nation. So, when you say it is not necessary to create new laws now, how else do you expect us to build our nation stronger? At this point, you're just acting like a sideline coach, always shouting plays, but never actually stepping on the field. Now, let me assure you that this bill is not a tool to shield corrupt leaders in any way. Exposing corruption with factual evidence remains a fundamental right. No one will be punished for speaking the truth. What the bill seeks to prevent is the spread of deliberate misinformation that can murder reputations, which is a growing issue in the digital age. So, if a law-abiding citizen will not be jailed for exposing a corrupt leader. However, if they expose a corrupt leader while knowing that the claims are 100% false and with the intention of causing...
Honorable Minister, please take your seat. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Now I would like to pause this session for some time and hand over the seat back to the Right Honorable Speaker of this Youth Parliament for the further proceeding.
अब यस गरिमामय संसदको एक क्षण पनि खेरा नफ्याली उही प्रतिबद्धताका साथ अघि बढौँ र एक चीज मैले भन्न चाहे अब प्रश्न सोध्नलाई एक मिनेट दिनेछ र सिधै प्रश्न कुनै भूमिका नबाँधी प्रश्न सोधिन परिनेछ र मन्त्रीहरूले सिधै कुनै भूमिका नबाँधी आफ्नो मन्तव्य राख्नु होला सो नाउ आई वुड लाइक टु कल अपोजिसन लिडर द मेम्बर अफ अपोजिसन दिव्या रेग्मी टु question to the Ministry of Forest and Environment.
Greetings to everyone. With the prior permission of Honorable Speaker and esteemed members, I direct my question to the Minister of Forest and Environment. Nepal's agriculture-driven economy is at the mercy of climate change, rising temperature, erecting rainfall, and deglaciation already weakening havoc. The Dhading landslide caused by excessive rainfall and reckless road construction is yet grim reminder of humans' negligence mixed with nature's fury. Yet, let's face it, Nepal is suffering from immense crisis it barely contributed to. The world's biggest polluter continue the business as usual while we bear the blunt. Should we sit silently, hoping for the sympathy, or does our leadership lack for rightful compensation? Are we a souvenir nation or a beggars in a global era? Are we always going to wait while others reap the benefit? Respected Minister, spare us the usual scripted speeches. We have heard enough of those plans and policies on paper. We demand actions. What are the major concrete steps is the ministry taking right now to promote environmental sustainability and combat the growing threats by climate change and natural disasters? We expect answers, not excuses. बाँसुरी बजाएर हात्ती लखेडिँदैन भन्ने उखान त सुन्नु नै भएको छ होला नि. And respected Minister, let's not pretend Nepal runs on your report and policies. Because if it did, we would have been climate-resistant country right now, not disaster weeping the cities and villages. So let's tell us, will we see a real action, or should we start engaging your Tom stab of those prices in your inaction?
Honorable Speaker and the esteemed member of the Parliament, let us laugh before listening my answer. With your kind permission, I rise not just to answer a question, but rescue from the opposition's climate confusion. If their speeches could cool the planet, we would be in an ice age by now. Let us be clear. Let us be clear, Nepal isn't a helpless victim. We are a resilient nation suffering from the consequences of pollution we didn't cause. And yet, some here act as if we should just accept it. The real criminals, the world's biggest polluters, keep cashing in while we pay the price. And instead of holding them accountable, you question our efforts. Instead of just pointing fingers at us, perhaps the opposition should recognize that we are actively fighting for Nepal's right on the global stage. We have been advocating for climate justice, securing international support, and punishing for accountability from the real culprits. So the question isn't what we are doing, it's why you refuse to acknowledge it. We are the creditors of environmental debt, yet some here act like we should just send a thank you note and move on. Climate change isn't a myth, but denial is the comedy. Rising temperature, erratic monsoons and landslide aren't predictions.
Honorable Minister, please wrap up your speech.
They are daily news. Nature doesn't check party affiliations before striking it, but it certainly punishes ignorance. And while you keep demanding result, we, the ministry, have been working tirelessly, but you never see the effort, only the outcomes you expect overnight. Forest. Not just for pretty pictures, forest prevent floods, stop landslide, and keep our air breathable. Unlike opposition speeches, which just pollute the room. We are implementing reforestation project, enforcing stricter conservation policies, and working with the communities to protect natural resources. But of course, you would rather pretend nothing is being done just to score a political point. Biodiversity isn't buzzword, it's survival. Ignoring biodiversity isn't just killing animals, it's killing our future. We preserve wildlife corridors, crack down on illegal poaching, and ensure sustainable land use. Yet
Honorable Minister, please take your seat. Now I would like to request Honorable MP Onisha Adhikari to raise the question to Youth and Sports Ministry.
Right, Honorable Speaker, through you, I would like to ask the Honorable Minister of Sports and Youth. Nepal's sporting achievement have recently been making headlines with the successful hosting of NPL, Nepal Premier League, and the outstanding performance of our athletes. Our athletes whose talent has not only made the nation proud, but also proven that our Nepali athletes can shine on the international stage without any extra time needed. These milestones highlight Nepal's growing potential to emerge of a sports hub capable of hosting various national and international employment opportunities. But as we know, the Ministry of Sports and Youth in Nepal seems to have mastered the art of wasting money. With a budget of NRP 3.5 billion, one will think at least they will manage to provide athletes with decent facilities. But no. The system is so corrupt that even this significant amount seems to vanish into thin air. The ministry's track records, an endless loop of bureaucratic red tapes, mismanagement, and corruption, where the only thing developing is their ability to dodge the accountability. In the context, we haven't seen any progress in the fields of sports. So I'd like to ask the Honorable Minister, what strategical plans does the ministry aim to leverage the expanding and upgrading of sports infrastructure, such as building stadiums and training facilities, especially with a focus on empowering women in sports? Additionally, now does the ministry aim to leverage the success of events like NPL and women's football team achievements to attract international tournaments, promote tourism, and create sustainable employment opportunities for Nepali citizens? Thank you.
Right, Honorable Speaker, through you, I'd like to answer the question raised by the opposition. What? Are you all shocked to see a minister playing with a ball in this parliamentary session? But what if I tell you that the opposition has been doing the same for many years? The only difference, while I was just playing with a ball, the opposition has been playing with the future of this nation. But enough about games, let's talk about reality. Since its establishment, the Ministry of Youth and Sports has worked tirelessly, day and night, to revolutionize sports and empower youths in the nation. We have built opportunities, strengthened infrastructure, and given our athletes the recognition that they deserve. But I guess opposition party lai hamro safalta nai pachena. That is why even as we put our sweat and tears into the development of this nation, the only thing they put is a bunch of corrupted money into their own pockets. Parliamentarians, it is not my honor, neither my pleasure. However, it is my duty to respond to the opposition. So dear opposition, आँखा नचम्काउनुहोस्, हात नलम्काउनुहोस्, र आउनुहोस् मैदानमा. Let the games begin. आज यस राष्ट्रिय सभा गृहमा हुन गइरहेको क्रिकेट मैदानमा दर्शकवृन्दलाई स्वागत छ. आफ्नो प्रश्नको प्रहारले आज बलिङ गर्नु हुँदैछ अपोजिसन पार्टीले भने आफ्नो कामको दममा ब्याट घुमाइराख्नु भएको छ रुलिङ पार्टीले. र गुगलीको रूपमा नेपालमा इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेभलपमेन्टको बारेमा प्रश्न गर्दै अपोजिसन पार्टीको पहिलो बल. युवा तथा खेलकुद मन्त्रालयको ब्याट्सम्यान तम तयार अवस्थामा. ब्याट्सम्यानको विश्वस्तरीय पूर्वाधार विकासको कडा प्रहार र यो बल चौका. पोखरा, विराटनगर र नेपालगञ्जमा स्टेडियम र प्रशिक्षण केन्द्रको विकास गरिरहेको र अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय मञ्चमा खेलकुद खेलाडीहरूलाई चिनाइरहेको युवा तथा खेलकुद मन्त्रालयको शानदार पर्फर्मेन्स. पालो छ अर्को बलको. खेलकुदको क्षेत्रमा रोजगारको बारेमा प्रश्न गरिरहेको अपोजिसन पार्टीको यो बल निकै स्पिडमा विकेटतर्फ पुग्दै. ब्याट्सम्यानले बललाई हान्नुभयो. बल हावामा 8,000 भन्दा बढीलाई निर्माणको क्षेत्रमा जीविकोपार्जनको स्रोत बनेको र 2,000 भन्दा बढीलाई इभेन्ट म्यानेजमेन्ट र पर्फर्मेन्समा रोजगारको सिर्जना गरेको युवा तथा खेलकुद मन्त्रालयको बल यो स्टेडियम बाहिर र यो छक्का. यसैको साथ खेलको समाप्ति र खेलकुद युवा तथा खेलकुद मन्त्रालयको विजय. Before proceeding, I'd like to request everyone to applaud for the Nepal's women football team. They didn't just break barriers, they redrew the map. I guess it's not just Cheli Bachao, Cheli Padhao, but also Cheli Khelao, Desh Banao. In response to the growing participation of women in sports, we're building 3 women-exclusive sports complexes in Kathmandu, Chitwan and Dhangol with daycare centers because mothers shouldn't choose between medals and motherhood. We have also allocated 40% of coaching scholarships to women because this ministry does not exist in name alone. We are building a future where women lead, not just follow. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this flower. What is it that gives this flower its beauty? Is it its vibrant color or is it its mesmerizing fragrance? But what if I tell you it's actually none of those? What gives this flower its beauty is the unity of its petals. Just like if the flower would lose its beauty, if I were to tear off these petals, the parliament will lose its purpose unless the ruling and the opposition party put our hands together.
Honorable Minister, I request you to directly get to the points.
So, as the leaders chosen by the people of this glorious nation, let us join our hands together, not as the ruling or opposition party, but as the citizens of this glorious nation. Together, we can create a Nepal where every voice is heard, every dream is nurtured, and every citizen thrives. Where sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning. Thank you.
Hereby, with this speech from our Honorable Minister, we have come to the end of today's parliamentary session. Respected guests, as we conclude this session, let us carry forward the spirit of constructive debate and collaboration. I hope this session has proven to be the new step to the develop. I hope this session has proven to be the new step towards the development of nation. Hence, this parliament adjourns with hope for a better future, and I call this session dismissed. अब मैले काठमाडौँ महानगरपालिकाका शिक्षा तथा स्वास्थ्य समितिका संयोजक आदरणीय चिनिकाजी महर्जनज्यूलाई मञ्चमा आई मायाको चिनो स्वीकार्न र यस नमुना संसद बारेमा आफ्ना धारणा राखिदिनका निम्ति अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु।
आजको यो शिक्षाप्रद कार्यक्रममा उपस्थित हुनुभएका विभिन्न विद्यालयबाट पाल्नुभएका शिक्षक महानुभावहरू, अभिभावक र हाम्रो शिक्षा समितिका कर्मचारी साथीहरू र महानगरपालिकाको सिपिसीका विज्ञ साथीहरू र यहाँ उपस्थित हुनुभएका सम्पूर्ण प्यारा भाइ बहिनीहरूमा काठमाडौँ महानगरपालिका शिक्षा र स्वास्थ्य समितिको तर्फबाट हार्दिक न्यानो अभियान टक्राउन चाहन्छु। साँच्चै भन्नुपर्दाखेरि आज यो कार्यक्रममा यहाँ विभिन्न प्रस्तुति देखाउनु हुने भाइ बहिनीहरूप्रति हामी अनुग्रहित भएका छौँ र विशेष गरी यलाडै स्कुलका विद्यार्थीहरूले जुन ढङ्गले नेपालको राजनीति नै चित्रण गर्न सक्ने खालको जीवन्त सदनको प्रस्तुति देखाउनु भयो, त्यो हाम्रो लागि हामी साँच्चैको यो समाजको चिन्ता लिएर राजनीति गर्नेहरूको लागि पनि शिक्षाप्रद भएको छ। उहाँहरूको प्रस्तुति वास्तवमा नेपालको अहिलेको राजनीतिलाई चित्रण गर्ने खालको थियो। विभिन्न सभासदहरूले आफ्नो नाटक मञ्चनको दौरानमा उठाउनु भएका विषयहरू नेपालको साँच्चैको सामाजिक, राजनीतिक, आर्थिक विषयहरूको उत्थान जसो लाग्छ। यहाँहरूलाई थाहा होला, नेपालमा अझै पनि नेपाली चेलीबेटीहरूलाई विशेष गरी भारतमा कुकुरको मूल्यभन्दा पनि सस्तो मूल्यमा बेचिन्छ। काठमाडौँमा एउटा छाउडाको मूल्य 1 लाखभन्दा बढी पर्छ, तर नेपाली चेलीहरू 50,000 आइसीमा बेचिन्छ। अझै पनि यो कुनै समाचारको विषय होइन, अझै पनि त्यो घटना घटिरहेको छ। र हामीलाई थाहा छ कुकुरलाई मही खाने हामी, कुकुरलाई पप्पी भन्दै मही खान्छौँ, तर यही देशमा दलितको नाममा हामी विभेद गर्छौँ र आफ्नो घरभित्र छिराउन र सँगै खान बस्न हामी रुचाउँदैनौँ। यो हाम्रो सामाजिक चित्र हो। यो देशमा अझै पनि रोगभन्दा पनि उपचार महँगो छ, औषधि महँगो छ। त्यही भएको कारणले बाँच्ने प्रयासमा धेरै नेपालीहरू उपचार नपाएर मर्छन्। यो देशको डाइभर्स इकोनोमी, डाइभर्स कल्चर, डाइभर्स जियोग्राफी मात्र होइन, थुप्रै कुरामा हामी डाइभर्स छौँ र थुप्रै कुरामा हामी पछि परेका पनि छौँ। त्यो भएको कारणले यहाँहरूले आज मञ्चन गर्नुभएको नाटक भोलिका दिनहरूमा साँचो अर्थमा यसै तरिकाले यो देश र समाजप्रति चिन्ता लिनुहुनेछ भन्ने मैले विश्वास लिएको छु। तर मेरो आँखाले धोका खाएको छैन भने एकजना नानीले मात्रै म पोलिटिसियन हुन्छु भनेर चाहिँ आफ्नो जीवनको उद्देश्यको रूपमा त्यहाँ प्रस्तुत गर्नुभयो। तर मलाई के लाग्छ भने डाक्टरले एकजना बिरामीको उपचार गर्न सक्छ, इन्जिनियरले एउटा पुल बनाउन सक्छ होला, भवन बनाउन सक्छ होला, तर देश कसले बनाउँछ भने पोलिटिसियनले हो, तर खराब पोलिटिसियनले होइन। अहिलेको जस्तो राजनीति नेताहरूले जस्तो होइन, तपाईँ जस्तो प्रश्न बोल्न सक्ने, विषयवस्तुमा अध्ययन भएको र अरूको फरक विचारले पनि सम्मान गर्ने खालको त्यस्तो सोच भएको, विचार भएको र चिन्तन भएको राजनेताहरूले मात्रै यो देश बनाउन सक्छ। यो देशमा सही अर्थमा इन्जिनियरहरू धेरै भएर पनि काम छैन, डाक्टर धेरै पनि काम छैन यदि राजनीति असल भएन भने। राजनीति असल भएन भने हामीलाई थाहा छ हिजो बलियो पुलहरू राजनीतिक द्वन्द्वको कारणले भत्किएको बिग्रेको हामीलाई याद छ। भर्खर उपचार गरेर आएको 4-5 जना डाक्टरहरूले चाहिँ उपचार गरेर ल्याएको, घन्टौँ अपरेसन गरेर हस्पिटलबाट गाडी चढेर आफ्नो घर फर्किएका मान्छे एम्बुसमा परेर मरेको पनि हामीलाई थाहा छ। त्यो भएको कारणले असल डाक्टर मात्र होइन, असल इन्जिनियर मात्र होइन, असल बिजनेसम्यानमा त भर पुग्दैन। यदि राजनीतिक द्वन्द्व निम्त्यो भने राजनीतिक द्वन्द्वको कारणले असल नेता नभएको कारणले हामीले यो देशका थुप्रै सम्भावनाहरू गुमाएका छौँ। त्यो भएको कारणले यहाँहरूले आजको यो मञ्चन भोलिका दिनहरूमा वास्तविक जीवनमा पनि त्यस्तै समाजको चिन्ता लिने समाज चिन्तकको रूपमा आओस् भन्ने म शुभकामना दिन चाहन्छु। हाम्रो देश अघि मैले भने जस्तै सडकको कुरा सदनमा गएर पोखिने र सदनको कुरा सडकमा गएर पोखिने अनि सडकमा टायर बाल्ने जिन्दाबाद र मुर्दाबादको कारणले हामीले देशमा धेरै कुरा गुमाएका छौँ। अबको दिनमा त्यस्तो नहोस्। त्यो भएको कारणले हाम्रो छिमेकी मुलुक भारतका पहिलो राष्ट्रपति डाक्टर राजेन्द्र प्रसादले एकपल्ट भन्नुभएको थियो, यो देशमा जबसम्म अभिभावकहरूले मेरो छोरा पनि यो समाजको चिन्ता लिने राजनीति गर्ने खालको छोराछोरी होस् भनेर चिन्तन गर्दैन, त्यो खालको अपेक्षा गर्दैन, त्यो खालको चाहना गर्दैन, तबसम्म देश बन्दैन भनेर भन्नुभएको थियो। त्यस्तै तपाईँ भाइ बहिनीहरूले पनि म डाक्टर बन्नुभन्दा इन्जिनियर बन्नुभन्दा बिजनेसम्यान बन्नुभन्दा यो देश बनाउने राजनीतिक मान्छे हुन चाहन्छु भनेर सङ्कल्प गर्नुभयो भने साँच्चै यो देश बन्नेछ। र हामी काठमाडौँ महानगरपालिका यसर्थ पनि आज खुसी छौँ, यहाँप्रति कृतज्ञ छौँ। हामी विशेष गरी हाम्रो लगानी सामुदायिक स्कुलमा छौँ र निजी क्षेत्रमा हाम्रो कुनै खालको लगानी छैन, उल्टो हामी कर लिन्छौँ। तर प्रस्तुति यहाँहरूको क्षमता हेर्दाखेरि लोभ लाग्दो छ, रहर लाग्दो छ र यहाँहरूबाट निजी क्षेत्रका स्कुलबाट हामीले सिक्नुपर्ने धेरै कुरा छ भन्ने कुरा आजको यो कार्यक्रमबाट हामीलाई थप अनुभव गराएको छ। यहाँहरूबाट हामी सिक्दैछौँ। लर्निङ बाई डुइङ भनेको साँचो अर्थमा वास्तवमै हो रहेछ र अझ हामी यो कुरामा विश्वास मात्र होइन, अब हामी यसरी लाग्छौँ भन्ने कुरा प्रतिबद्ध पनि भएका छौँ। विशेष गरी आज धन्यवाद त हामी हाम्रो लगानी भएको ठाउँमा सामुदायिक विद्यालयका विद्यार्थीहरूलाई धन्यवाद दिनुपर्ने थियो, तर प्रस्तुतिले हामीलाई हाम्रा लगानी भएका ठाउँ सामुदायिक स्कुलका विद्यार्थीहरू थोरै पछि परेको जस्तो अनुभव भइरहेछ। त्यो भएको कारणले हामी के चाहन्छौँ भने अहिलेको काठमाडौँ महानगरपालिका शिक्षा विभाग निजी क्षेत्रसँग प्रतिस्पर्धा गर्न लायकको स्कुल बनाउँछौँ भन्ने कुरामा प्रतिबद्ध भएर लाग्न म शिक्षा विभागका साथीहरू र हाम्रो सिपिसीका सल्लाहकार साथीहरूसँग म अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु, निवेदन गर्न चाहन्छु। र अन्तमा हाम्रा भाइ बहिनीहरू कुनै मार्कसिटमा कुनै विषयमा सफल मात्र भएर पुग्दैन, असल पनि हुनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरामा म ख्याल राखिदिनु अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु। तपाईँहरू सक्सेसफुल मात्र होइन, यो देशको लागि युजफुल पनि भइदिनुहोस्। शुभकामना दिँदै मेरो छोटो मन्तव्य यही टुङ्ग्याउँछु। धन्यवाद। साथै आजको यो कार्यक्रम यही समापन भएको पनि घोषणा गर्न चाहन्छु। धन्यवाद।